Thank you very much. This is Pheona Wall back on the Fat Talks, talking about the Rotary Cancer Run and humanity's legacy of fighting back. We're with Rotarian Marion and Rotarian Stephen Mwanje, and just before we got into the break, we were recognizing our Twitter space people that are here. The organizing committee of the Rotary Cancer Run, the 12th edition, is online. We recognize you. We want to thank Smart24 TV for hosting this and sponsoring this airspace. So one of the things that we want to see today, before these people go away, we say when you're in the presence of the king, you ask for everything. PDG, Stephen, what drives you? What keeps you going? What keeps you doing all these many things that you do?
Well, I should say what drives me is the power of belief.
Yes.
And the other thing is...
explain though.
Power of belief is over time.
Yes.
All through my life, whenever I believe in something, I've always succeeded. It has always worked out. And so I've come to know that power of belief makes a lot of difference. Once you believe in something, and you actually go for it and remain focused on it, you get it. The second issue that drives me is I'm one person who is inspired by big things. I love big things. I love big things.
I read that in your bio.
And the reason is I believe that God gave us all sorts of talents, and the capacity of the brain is such that very few of us are lucky enough to utilize even 20% of their brains.
10%?
So, I'm telling you. So most of the people there, our forefathers and others, have died with their brains intact.
Untouched.
So, untouched.
Untapped.
Yeah, 3%, 10%. Yeah. So me, as a person, if my day comes to go, I want to go after I've tried to use my brain as much as I can. So I challenge myself all the time.
Yeah.
So I think of a big dream, I say, let me go for it.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with failure, I'll have tried. I always
better to try
and fail than fail to try. So
yes.
That's what drives me. So I go for big things. Luckily enough, 90% of
they
the
happen.
Says it has happened. The other one is humanity.
Yeah.
Because I believe, again, as a Rotarian, that I need to contribute towards reducing the suffering of people.
Of humanity.
So I believe in humanity, and as Rotarians, we believe that mankind is our business. So I do whatever it takes to address the challenges of the people. That's how these programs came up. Family Health Days, Cancer Program, and others. They're addressing the real needs of the people.
So
once there's a need somewhere, I put all my energy there. Because I've got to believe it happens to work out.
Yeah.
The tools I use is the team. That's all.
Wow, that is so inspirational. I hope we're going to get this clip. Rotarian Marion. Marion always has this fantastic, energetic smile. She has grace. She has a lot of grace. But another thing that I like about Marion is her energy. So what drives you? What keeps you going, Marion? And you're not allowed to copy PDG.
No, I'm not. I'm not, because clearly we are different. I told you he's my mentor, so there's no way I can probably have picked a lot from him. But what drives me is being brave.
Courage.
Courage and resilience. Why is that, first of all, I'm going to go a little bit personal, is that I'm a first and last.
Yeah.
I'm an only child.
You're an only child.
Now, with the things that we do in Rotary and how we give to humanity, you would query, like, this one, if she's an only child, definitely, she has everything at her feet. She has, as in, there's nothing I lack. Yeah, probably there's nothing I lack because his grace is sufficient for us and he's our provider. But as I grew up in a very humble home of my mom, more with my mom than my dad. And she didn't go to school like any other parent. So she used the little knowledge that she could to make sure that I am who I am. And of course with my other aunties. But a time came when there was no fees, nothing. So I was at, I think that was around, as young as S4 VAC, I started, I learned how to bake. So I used to bake cakes. So I used to bake and and save money. I sell a muffin like at school to my fellow people and save money. Then S6 VAC came, I still did the same. Now my mom said I can't pay fees anymore. I have nowhere to get it. Then my aunties, of course, reached a certain time where they could take care of me. I'm like, but I have this talent. Like he mentioned about talent. Why wouldn't I do that? I continued baking. Do you know that I used to sell muffins in KCB Bank, Standard Chartered Bank, New Vision?
And when you're on campus or before?
Yes, before and even when I was. And then I got a voluntary job. Now, this is where humanity is coming in. And where I think I am too selfless that I've actually been taken advantage of, most sometimes. So I went to volunteer with TASO. And that time TASO, 2019, 99, HIV was at the helm.
Yes.
Do you know, even when I would leave work, like I would volunteer, I would go to the community and test people.
What?
Yes, like carry out what is called
test.
home-based care testing and counseling. So I went and trained into a course where you can carry out a test. I'm not a doctor, but I will inject and get blood and test. Now, then after that I go to school, people would be like, everyone who works in TASO is what? Has HIV.
HIV positive.
So I was stigmatized. That what I did. Now I became an activist of those. I turned around what they blamed me to be, what they called me, and became an activist of HIV patients.
Wow.
But specifically the youth. Because when we at TASO would see youth walking in and they are sick and they have gotten HIV not only because they had probably multiple sexual partners, but they were born with it and they didn't know. Now I took it upon myself and started something what they call the AIDS Youth Challenge Club.
Wow.
Now that is where I picked what drives me to now in Rotary. That you will not tell me that don't go for a medical. Don't do this. And another thing, I do not like seeing someone being, how do I call it? Marginalized or mistreated.
Stigmatized.
Now me, so I have two of my friends who say they can never work with me because I greet a border, I greet a policeman, I give them, they're like, Marion, it's like she knows everyone. Now me, I'm not a person who, the first person I'll befriend will be either a gate man or will be some, and that's how I've been. So I have been driven, what has driven me is because how my background was, that everything was gearing up to being what I think I have. I'm not attained it, but I think because of that, of humanity and having that other sense,
that passion for
and
it.
That passion drives me. And I'm telling you the truth, I'll get out of my gate every day, but I'll make sure I greet someone or I'll give out. I'm a victim of people who give things on the street when those people are begging.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
But
I am
it probably
brave.
gives you more than it costs you,
yes, right? I am a very brave person and I take risks.
Yeah.
I take risks. Some have not been good, some have been, but the biggest part is that I have a fulfillment and deep down I am satisfied and I can go and lay my head down at the end of the night and say, at least somewhere before that week ended or they ended, I have added value.
I've made a difference
to someone else's life.
That's
made a difference.
wonderful.
So that is me.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And knowing you, yeah, it's all true. I really am inspired by that. Thank you so much for sharing of your hearts, of your minds, and of your passions.
Can I just
If you are going to say, yes, yes.
You know, some of the things are supposed to be common sense.
Yeah, but some are not common.
They are very common.
Yes.
We are all born and shall go one day.
Absolutely.
Doesn't matter whether it's 20 years from now or 10 or 2 or an hour from now.
Yes.
Now, when you know that as a fact, then the thing you need to do is to think about how best to utilize the time you have on earth. And that sometimes drives some of us.
Yes.
Assuming you are going to die in the next 3 weeks, what do you need to do? Do you have any time for a quarrel?
No.
Do you have any time for a grudge?
For pettiness?
For pettiness?
No.
For backbiting people? For cause, you know, so because of that, possibly that's another reason.
It's expensive.
It's too expensive. Every time I value every second. And that helps me to build relationships as well. Because
Yes.
I love people, everybody. no matter what a person
Now
does
you're
to me.
my new friend.
Yes, I love him all the time. You know, so I try to make everybody my friend because I know who knows.
There's very little
Maybe
time.
him or me may be away in the next couple of weeks. Then you start crying. So I met him and I was abusing him. I never had time to apologize. So I make sure that I build
It
relationships
happens.
every day with everybody I come across, and that has helped me a lot to drive the programs I do because I make friends with everybody, and I'm intentional.
Yeah.
You try your best to hurt me, it will be very difficult.
It's a mistake.
I'll still smile. You can call me a fool, but I don't have time to hate you.
You don't have time.
Now you see he has copied me, so
Yes.
now
Thing we befriend anyone, and actually my personality, and probably that's what you probably, Pheona, you know that my personality, I'm an extrovert, and one of the things I do is I love. Like I really, when I love, I mean it. Like I really mean it. So I pour out. And certain times people, especially my family and my friends, like, but Marion, you're overdoing it. Has this person given you what is worth it?
But
So they keep telling you that what has he given you, what has she given you, that you really have to always be there. But you look at the end result, like he has said, what are we taking to the grave? Nothing.
So why keep it
why
all
keep
in?
it? Give it. Those who think it is of value, they take it. Those who don't think it is not. But at the end of the day, how do you feel deep down that you have given?
Yes.
How do you feel?
Yes.
It is the feeling that you have, the fulfillment you have in, that matters. So if I have something small and I share it, you know, one of my small testimony, I had a maid, and my daughter, I told my maid, when my daughter starts school, you're going to go back to school. I might not have much, but you will start from something. And this girl went to YMCA, and she asked her, what is your passion? She said, I want IT. I want to do computer. She stopped in S6. So I told her, the moment my daughter goes to school, you're going to school. No, you're also going to school. But you're going to do a program whereby you come home before her. So she did a lunchtime program which ended at midday. My daughter would come back at 3. So she finished her IT course at YMCA, got a records keeping job with DTB, did very well. She's now the records manager something in Busheni.
Oh wow.
And she was so good, my daughter, so good. I let her be and let her go. Now who can measure that? Who can measure that? No one can measure that.
Nobody.
No one can measure that.
Yeah.
So I feel good that now, as an old child, she's now looking after her siblings to go to school, because she said, I want to pay fees for my siblings to be who I am. So that is the power of also being in Rotary, because it creates certain kind and brings out certain kind of humanity out of you. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you, Rotarian Marion. Thank you so much, Rotarian Stephen. One of the things that we do on these Fat Talks, we do this, by the way, every Thursday, 4 p.m. we are here. We bring amazing stories and amazing conversations from amazing people that have given of themselves and that have done it ethically, so that we can encourage young people out there, or even old people out there who believe that maybe they've spent a lot of time doing the wrong thing and they're looking for inspiration. One of the things that I would like us to do before we close is, what are those things you would say, what are the 3 things you've learned from Rotary about leadership that you would share with people?
I think one,
Leadership brings out the best in you. What I've learned so far, leadership brings out the best in you, and sometimes can bring out the worst in you. And it teaches you to be accommodative. And that is what and you know, because first of all, like in Rotary, being a leader in Rotary, one, it's voluntary. It's voluntary, and you're putting in a lot of time, a lot of resources. You even deny your family what they should have gotten. So it is accommodative. It teaches you a certain degree, probably let me say PhD of patience. Of patience. Is that because these people owe you nothing, and neither do you owe them anything. So they have given you a responsibility, and they want to see you deliver. So whether it is for them or not, the eyes are on you. So at the end of the day, what is it that you're going to say, I have put this here, it has impacted these ones, I have achieved this, I can now move on.
Yeah.
So that is what I think leadership has brought, but has brought the best in me, but also the magnitude of connections, friends. Because I told you earlier that Rotary has become my second family. It became my second family. I've met uncles, daddies, cousins, friends, whatever in Rotary, and it has given me a ground.
You sisters and brothers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It has given me a ground where I have found family, and I can't take it for granted. So that is what I think it has been, and it is something I can tell anyone,
Yes.
but and not until they try it. And someone said, once you become a leader of volunteers who decide as and when they want to serve or not, and you go through and sail through smoothly, then you can do anything in this world. You can.
Famous last words. Yes.
I think I've learned so much from Rotary. Top on the list of things I've learned in leadership of volunteers as a Rotarian is never focus on titles or positions.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, why? Explain.
Oh, yes.
Leadership is about action.
Impact.
Impact. Leadership is about getting your team to see where you want them to go
Yes.
and inspiring them to get there. Now, the moment you will get lost into titles and positions, then you cease to be a leader. And that's why you find some people calling themselves leaders, actually positional leaders, lowest type of leaders. You know, they
Titled
fight-
leaders.
Yes, they start fighting for position, they start bad-mouthing others. You know, they start believing that when I pull him down, I'll go there in his position instead. They believe in relative velocity, if that word exists. So other than focusing on action, they focus on titles and positions. So they have to beat you, you know, so that they can get to that position. You know, the way politicians behave.
Yeah.
Because for him, he's after that chair. And so to get that chair, he must beat off the
You have to
competition.
remove someone.
And that one, to me, is the worst type of leader.
And there is room, isn't there?
Yes.
There's room
No,
to do so much.
for everybody.
For everyone.
If everybody behaves like a leader, there's so much to do.
Yeah.
You're on lane. You're going to be given talent. That's number one. Number two, again, from leadership, is about the importance of relationships
Yes.
and the importance of motivating volunteers. I'm telling you the thing I've learned from this cancer program. This is the presentation of the cancer run. I can tell you this cancer run in the last week, in that 3 days, and sleep there.
Wow.
In order to produce the report after the run, you know,
And they are volunteers.
Yes. Okay, easier because everything has been online. Before we were doing things manually, and I'll tell them, friends, for accountability,
We should be
results by 1 o'clock on the day of the run. That's my address. People sleep there. I've witnessed it. I can't believe it. They go there, sit there. The best you can do is to deliver them something to eat, and they sit there. Then they rush for refreshing and come back. You know, this is Richard Sodaga or whatever have been there. They do that all the time. Now, ask myself, what shall I back? I them an allowance. They have their future, their time. Some will sacrifice their for their jobs, their families. So then, that's it. How they do that?
Yes.
You should love them, they love you. The third one again, there's only to emphasize the importance of integrity. You have to be ethical. If you're going to be a good leader, you must be trusted. And that means your word must be your word. Ethics can't be compromised.
Wow. I don't know what to add to this. I think I'll just only ask that you speak to the run right now as we close. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you. But before we close, I just wanted to take 1 or 2 questions from the space people. If any of you want to ask a question, please feel free to just put up your hand and you'll be given listening rights, or click on your mic. So you can give us a question. We're just taking 1 or 2 questions before we close, before we hear our last words from our speakers. Anybody online? Okay, so far I don't see anybody who is willing to speak. But I just want to thank Rotarian Marion, Rotarian Stephen, thank you so much. And thank you to the Rotary family, to the organizing committee of the Rotary Cancer Run, to my club, Rotary out there. I want to say that today has been very, very inspirational. We've been discussing the Rotary Cancer Run and the legacy of humanity fighting back that they've established. You've heard about the impact, you've heard about the lessons, you've heard about the importance of values like integrity, discipline, commitment, and you've also heard about the fact that you do not want to go away with a lot left in you. You don't want that to be fulfilled with all the good things you could have done while on earth. So right now I'm going to ask our guests to tell us, remind us, Rotary Cancer Run is when, how can we register, and why are we doing it?
Rotary Cancer Run is the last Sunday of August. Yeah. Registration this time is online.
What time? 7 a.m.
We start in the morning at 6.
6 a.m.
Yes. So please be there.
Yes.
It's also fun.
Yes.
Clubs that are doing very well will be getting tents at the venue, so you can have your colleagues, your friends, and party. There's so much fun there. There's entertainment. Come with your children, because there's a corner for children.
Yes.
So happy to play around. And we plan to have this one being really big. Now, in Kampala, please identify the nearest place wherever you are to run. This run is also regional. They're running in Burundi, they're running in Bujumbura, in Kigali, they're running in Nairobi, Dar es Salaam. Then there are people also running out there. The embassies there. This is a global run now. One of the things that COVID did for us was to open up this run.
Yeah.
So now, in the US, no updates. So people are going to run over the world. What is important is the cause. Number 2, please come to run. You need to put the discussion of cancer on the table. Not like AIDS. The reason AIDS, the country, because every head of state, one when he stood up and was talking about the ABC strategy. That time I went to South Africa and said, I can do this. The head of state.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I can put the cancer discussion on the table. Because I go find a house that, you know, let's discuss these things and create awareness.
Thank you very much. Marion, last one.
Just remind us, is tickets.ugandarotarycancer.org is where tickets.ugandarotarycancer.org is the website where you go and then you click and register, and there's a QR code if you see most of the flyers are running. But also just remind you that the pickup points for the kids, just registered online and you pay. Allow me just run through them. Is Mega Standard Supermarket, Shoppers in Tinda, Shoppers Nakawa, Capital Shoppers Nakasero, Capital Shoppers Garden City, Bread House Lueza, Centenary Bank, all Centenary Bank branches, especially Mapera, Entebbe, Chireka, Bilbaga, and Kawempe.
Okay.
Yeah, those are the people. So actually online, that's where you can get your kit.
Okay.
27
August, Sunday morning, 6 a.m. Let's run and create a legacy of fighting back. Let's fight cancer. Let's increase and raise awareness and further. There'll be screening at these sites, and also encourage a friend to be part of the run. It's been Pheona Wall for the Fidelity Leadership Institute at this Fat Talk, Marion and Stephen from Rotary and Rotary Uganda, and we've been hosted by Smart 24 TV. Have a fantastic weekend. Thank you very much.